Good morning. Y'all up? It is Nyota, adaptability coach and leadership strategist, teaching you tips and tricks and secrets on how to be more adaptable. Use your hard-earned skills you've already earned, stuff you already know how to do, things you already know how to master, to create your own business from scratch. Today's lesson in adaptability is brought to you by my Under Armour walking app. I missed my sleep number bed, and you've got time today. So, y'all see me on here walking all the time, right? You're like, oh man, here she is on here walking again, showing me that I'm not walking. But that's not what I'm showing you. What I am showing you is how to use the best use of my time. You know, I started doing this thing. I was like, well, they shut down my gym, right, because of COVID. So I was like, I can't not work out because, it's just not healthy. And I like to work out. So I was like, I have to do something, right? So what does that look like? Okay, well, I don't have any excuses. There's nothing but freaking sidewalk and opportunity, right? I live in a place where there's sidewalks, so let me get out there on it. So now I'm out here walking, and I'm spending, 45 minutes, an hour and a half walking. And I'm like, well, I'm just out here walking. Well, what can I do while I'm out here walking? What is the best use of my time, right? I'm not going to just not listen to music and just spend time walking. I'm going to use this time. Oh, I can listen to audiobooks, right? Oh, I can talk to my mom. Oh, I can talk to my sister. I can talk to my friends, right? Because I'm spending this time walking anyway. Oh, I can use this time. Oh, I need to be showing up more. I need to let people see me. I need to let people know that I can help them start their own business. I can help them transition from one job to the next. I can help them be more adaptable. I can help them when they're transitioning from the military to civilian life. I can help them when they're transitioning from government employee to retiree. I can help them transition from employee to entrepreneur, using their employee as a sponsor, right? If they're looking at how they're going to fund their business. So I have to let people know in a way that's a good use of my time, how to do this. I'm already walking already, right? I'm already walking already. So I may as well just come on here, play with y'all a little bit, talk to y'all a little bit, and let you all know how I can serve you, right? And that is how I am using my walking time. So one of the main problems, one of the main situations, one of the main issues people say is that they don't have time to start a business, right? They say, oh, I don't have time for that. I have kids and I work full time. I don't have time to start a side hustle that I already have skills for, that I already know that I would. That car made me stop. I already have skills for a side hustle or a part-time job or even full-time entrepreneurship that I already know how to do. I just don't have time. Well, today I'm going to tell you how to harvest that time, those gold nuggets of time out of your schedule. Because you have time. You just your why isn't big enough, right? The reason why you want to start your business isn't big enough. That's why you haven't taken the time to harvest out your time. So let's get into it. first of all, there's so many conversations about time management. But you know, and I know, there is no way that you can actually manage time, right? Because we only have 24 hours a day. We all have the same 24 hours a day. But you're not going to be able to manipulate time. The only thing that you're going to be able to do is manipulate yourself. And so you get an opportunity to manipulate yourself around time. Now, what does that look like? You know, time flies when you're having fun, and that shit drags on when you're doing something you hate, right? When you're down there cleaning the freaking toilet, down there by the daggone base of it, that time drags on. But when you're talking on the phone with your friends, you're watching movies, you're out kikiing at Costco, one of my favorite pastimes, that time just zooms by. So let's catch some of that time. Let the time come down. The first thing I would do is take a moment to look at your schedule. And don't spend a whole bunch of time doing this, but I would take a day. Don't do anything differently from your schedule, right? So I would get like one of those calendars on your phone and be aware that you're not getting distracted when you're doing this exercise. So this first exercise is track your time, right? Track your time. And you've probably seen a lot of coaches, a lot of people on television, just a lot of people have you do this exercise because it is powerful when you see it. This isn't something to do in your head, right? Because something happens in your head. In reality, there's space in there it's not the same. You think you're doing something, but when you see that stuff on paper, it gets real. So take the time to track out your day. From the time you wake up, do it on the day that you're kind of busy, like on a day that you go to work or something like that, right? So you wake up at 6:30, you go, you meditate, you say your 3 things of gratitude, what you're grateful for, you go brush your teeth, do all that bathroom stuff, right? But what didn't you write down? That you picked up your phone and you were on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, you're checking the news, that you did that for 20 minutes, right? Track all of your time. If you talk to your spouse, significant other, kids, and you spend 15 minutes doing that, track that time. Track all of the time. Even if you can find the time, like it's the minutes that's important, right? So track out your day, how much time you're spending on your commute. And then notice when you're on your commute, what are you listening to? Are you using that as an opportunity to listen to an audiobooks, podcast, learn something new, turn it into car university, automobile university? Have you heard of such things? Where you can use the time to go to work. A lot of us are not commuting these days, but that should be adding time, for you to manage instead of taking time away. That doesn't mean lay in the bed an additional 25 minutes. That's 25 minutes of gain in your day. So, number 1, track your time. And at the end of the day, just kind of take a look and see where you have these gaps or you have these holes in your time, right? Track your time. Number 2, regain your time. And what does that look like when you're regaining your time? Or just adding some time to your day? What does that look like? I would start out adding, and this, I've been hearing this, I knew this, but sometimes it takes you a moment to hear it. It's just about the way of having focused time. where you're not messing around with your phone. And this is number 2. Create, use, or have focused time. And it's up to you how much time you want to use, or you use the time that you have. But I would give yourself an opportunity from the time you sit down to get into this focused time. And this is focused on whatever you are working on, whatever you're doing. Are you writing down a business plan? Are you using this time to reach out to potential customers? Are you using this time to actually do the work of your business? I would give yourself a range of 30 minutes to 90 minutes, right? And you can, if you can't or don't have or haven't had an opportunity to build up this skill, because it is a skill of doing what people call, and there's a book about it. His name is Cal, I can't think of his last name, but he has a book called Deep Work. And in this time, you're completely focused. You have the door closed. Maybe you put a do not disturb on your door at work or at home. And you use this, you turn off your cell phone and you spend this focused time, not on social media, not listening to music with words. I can't tell you what to do. For me, I can't listen to music with words, right? And you are working toward a goal. So number 2 is set focused work time. And I would suggest that that's a range between 30 minutes and 90 minutes. I dare say no more than 90 minutes, because there's like a psychology of what our brain can handle and all of that. And then I would take a break. 20-minute break. I would take a 20-minute break. But what does that break look like? But if let's just start with one block. If that's the only block that you can dedicate in your day, and I would try to do that when you are the most like when you're your best person, like you're creative and you're smart and your time. For me, that's in the morning, especially after I come back from these walks. Like, I'm very creative, I'm very smart, I'm very strategic, I'm all of the best things. I'm pretty sure that this gate shouldn't be open like this, right? Anyway, I'm just gonna walk this way. Yeah, so number 2, focus time. And number 3, when it comes to creating, making, you have to be very loving and caring to yourself and set up these boundaries, right? So what does that look like to set up your time boundary for your time block? It means shut down your phone. It means if you can do your work without internet, if you're like writing your blog or creating what you're going to be posting on social media, if you're going to be creating those posts, turn off, let me tell you something, turn off your FaceTime on your freaking Mac, if you use a Mac. Because what FaceTime does, and I know you guys know, you're right in the middle of doing something, typing, whatever. That daggone FaceTime is so disrespectful. It just swipes whatever you're working on right off the screen. And I don't know if that's in my setup, but just turn it off. When you're doing your focus 30 minutes to 90 minutes, turn off your FaceTime. If you can turn off your Wi-Fi, if you can turn off your Facebook, turn off all of those things that you can do your creating outside of the internet, right? Also, when you're using this time, use this time to let your family know that this is your focus time, whether it's 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. Let your people know that this is your time. That's going to be hard for them if it's hard for you. If you don't set that boundary for them, then they're not going to respect it because you're not respecting it. So set up that boundary, set up that container of that time. Like, that is the time when you are creating your life. That is the time when you are that is the time where you're creating your future. This is the time where you're creating, a job to pay off debt and build wealth. And, this is the time where you're building your vacation fund. This is the time where you are actually building the money to fund the life that you want. So respect that time and respect yourself. So let's recap. And of course, if you want any help with this, I can help you with this. Get on our calendar. We're actually having a coaching group that starts on the 3rd of August. So if you'd like to be a part of the program, get some help, some direction, some coaching, some peer accountability, and someone to help you so you can see what boundaries look like on other people, right? Because sometimes if you never set a boundary, you don't know what a boundary looks like. You don't respect it. But this is another lesson of how entrepreneurship can help you, in your everyday life. Being able to set these boundaries of time and respect your own goals. Respect, what you say you want. So if you need some help with that, there's a link. You can sign up for it straight away. bit.ly/workwithnyota. I'm walking backwards because I must want y'all to see me fall down. No, I want to be able to stand the sun. So, number one, make sure that you are tracking your time. And you don't want to keep doing, some people spend 2-3 days with this. Just be honest with yourself and notice how much you're using your cell phone. Notice how much why are you brushing your teeth for 45 minutes? What are you doing in the bathroom? I know bathroom time is spa time, but really, just notice what you're doing with your time. Not saying that you shouldn't, take the time that you need and want and use your time as meditation and those sort of things, but be honest in tracking the time, right? So track your time. Make sure that you are setting up focused hours to be able to work, right? Is that 30 minutes? Is that 45 minutes? Is it 90 minutes? I recommend that the time goes between 30 minutes and 90 minutes. And spend this time focused. Are you finding potential clients? Are you working on projects? Work on this time. Spend this time very laser focused. Laser focused, right? Spend that time laser focused. And last, number 3, set up your boundaries. Put a sign on the door, close the door, turn off your devices, hide your devices. Don't even keep your phone in there. Make it hard to be distracted, right? And those would be my top 3 tips on how to find the time that you desire to start the business that you want. What is your why, right? You'll never have enough time if this isn't something that you want to do. So what is your why? Do you have this because you know that you're good enough? You know that your skills can create a life that you want for yourself? But you don't have to leave your job. You love your job. But you know that you could be doing this job in a different way. In a way that you show up differently, in a way that you serve differently, in a way that's heart-centered and you feel proud of the skills that you've learned and knowing that you can use those skills to help someone else. People need your help and they need it the way that you give it. So, listen to that. This has been Nyota, your adaptability coach and leadership strategist, teaching you tips and tricks to use your hard-earned skills that you've already earned to be more adaptable, to create your own business from scratch. You've been thinking about it. It doesn't have to be full-time. It doesn't have to be all the way part-time. It can be a micro business where you just help one person at a time. and you know how to do that already. You've been thinking about it. Let me help you with that. Get on the calendar. We could talk about it. What does that look like, right? Or just go ahead and just schedule to join us for our group coaching that starts on the 2nd of August. bit.ly/workwithanIota. This has been your lesson in adaptability. Have a great day.